Chloe's for the streets. That's a line right there. That's a bar. And then he said, that's it. We got to let her go. What'd you guys think of that? Good humor, right? Good humor.
Yeah, I thought it was good humor. It's funny.
Did you like it? You don't really like the guy, though, do you?
I'm 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you 50-50?
Just because some of his stuff, like, I feel like he takes shots at Christians, and we take enough shots. Why shoot ourselves?
Oh, that's a good point. I just like to laugh.
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah, that little God could part the Red Sea, raise people back to life.
He starts making fun of church and stuff. I get a little like,
But, you know, the little 6-year-old girl dresses up like Elsa. Oh, that's it. Chloe's for the streets. That was good. That was good. What's going on, fam? This is Anthony from the Not Offended podcast, the conservative Chicano right here. If y'all could do me a favor, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could leave a comment, hit the like button, but most of all, if you could hit subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome to the Not Offended podcast. It's your boy, Anthony, conservative Chicano. What's going on? I got the Bishop of the Token in the house. Man, this has been fun. I gotta just come out and just say it. When we talk about food, it just blows up. I have no idea why, but it just blows up. We're supposed to be talking about culture and its influence on the church. So I suppose food is culture.
Yeah, I'm sure food fits in there somewhere.
Okay, best comment though on the food was I think our boy Jesse, Rivera said, "Hey man, give me eggs, bacon, potatoes, and call it a good burrito." And you go, "Wouldn't mind some cheese though."
It's a good burrito. Throw some cheese in there.
That's great.
It just ain't a burrito if we got no cheese or what?
No, I'm good without it, but add a little flavor to it.
It does add a little something to it.
I love Oaxacan cheese.
Oh, hey, you can stretch that for a month. He said it right too. Did you hear that? Woo! What, you thought he said something else?
No.
Okay. You were just surprised. You were caught off guard?
A little bit.
Okay, well, everybody knows about Oaxaca cheese. And if you don't know, now you know. You got to go get some. Okay, let's get real, though. On your breakfast burrito, green or red sauce?
Green.
No sauce.
What?
I know. That's what I told someone yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. He's a wild card. You don't know what he's going to say.
Right?
He went Oaxaca cheese.
And then he went no sauce.
No chile. That's it.
I gave some burritos to some guys yesterday, and then I had a bag of salsa, and I was like, "No, you Mexicans love your salsa." And they're like, "You sure do?" Yeah. And they took it. They weren't offended. They're like, "Give me that salsa."
Okay. So I love how you say, you Mexicans love it.
Because they always want. It's just too much work. I was like, I just want to eat my burrito.
Hey, the one of the funniest stories this aunt ever told me was about how he was at home. They were making tacos, and he said, "Raquel, he's already done with his tacos, and Raquel's still making hers." He's like, they all love their toppings. Mexicans love their toppings.
Hey, I do love my toppings, so I gotta have them.
You guys are all into it.
We are.
It
matters.
A little bit of this, squirt of
Stack
that.
it up, yeah.
It matters.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll say this. I love the toppings.
That's what I'm saying.
I know no one gets offended because I all know it's true. Like we sure do.
I love my
Except for
toppings.
cabbage. I don't understand the cabbage.
I'll do it, but I'm with you. I don't have to have it.
In a salsa, I know they make a salsa something with cabbage.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's more crisp.
Mm.
But I just don't have to have it, if that makes sense. But so you're a no sauce on your burrito. I don't know if I'm offended for you or offended with you. Like, I don't know how to feel right now.
That one I think is more to do just with the word. I just want to eat my burrito.
Okay,
I think,
so you don't want to have to pour
all the extra stuff.
Okay, but I don't like to do that. I don't.
So you like to pour it in then roll?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's in there, I can do that.
Okay,
but the add,
So green or red if it's in there? Breakfast burrito.
It's probably just gonna be red. This out of
okay.
I know it.
So why do you go green on your breakfast burrito? They want to know. This matters. I have a theory.
Okay, I go green all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big red because I don't like smoke.
Okay, you're red.
I'll do pico, but
okay.
I don't want.
So here's my
red.
thing. Mandy would tell you. Everybody who knows me well. I got to do salsa verde on all my breakfast stuff.
That means green.
Yeah, I can't.
Just here to translate.
There you go. Thank you. Instead of Google Translate, we got Michael Translate.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but all my breakfast items has got to be green. And then, you ready for this? After that, it's all red all day. I can't do it. I don't know why. Maybe it's from childhood or whatever. But hey, leave it in the comments on your breakfast burrito. Is it green or red sauce? We want to know. Okay, so we had a great episode. Shout out to everybody who keeps commenting. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for hitting the like button, the share button, the comment button. And please help us get to 1,000 people. We're trying to get to 1,000 people. We're doing good, but we can use your help by just telling other people about what we do here. A lot of people really had a lot of good stuff to say about our Halloween segment. I feel like the people were pretty 50-50. Hey, if you want to do something and glorify Christ, go do it. Other people like, hey, I don't feel that conviction. I'm just going to stay home and not do anything. By the way, which we all agree, go ahead and do whatever you feel the Holy Spirit is asking you to do. No harm, no foul there. I did come across, I want to play this for the audience. This is John Christ. He's a comedian. He had something to say about Halloween and trick-or-treating. I want you guys to watch. I think we need a good laugh after that. The segment got real hot, okay? So let's just get a good laugh right here. Watch this.
Okay, make some noise if you were not allowed to celebrate Halloween. Make some noise. Look at that. Me neither. We weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween. You better have your head on that pillow before the sun goes down, or the devil is getting a foothold in your life. The devil's getting in there. He is? Where's he coming from? Which is, honestly, not celebrating Halloween is a tricky theology to believe, because we believe in this God that can part the Red Sea, bring dead people back to life, but a 6-year-old girl wears an Elsa dress, and God's like, nothing I can do. Chloe's for the streets now. He's like, I had a plan for her. I saw that Elsa dress, and I was like, let her go, and... Chloe's for the streets. Oh my God.
Oh man, that is so good.
Chloe's for the streets.
Chloe's for the streets. That's a line right there. That's a bar. And then he said, that's it. We got to let her go. What'd you guys think of that? Good humor, right? Good humor.
Yeah, I thought it was good humor. It's funny.
Did you like it? You don't really like the guy though, do you?
I'm 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you 50-50?
Just because some of his stuff, like, I feel like he takes shots at Christians, and we take enough shots. Why shoot ourselves?
Oh, that's a good point. I just like to laugh.
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah, that little God could part the Red Sea, raise people back to life.
If he starts making fun of church and stuff, I get a little like,
But, the little 6-year-old girl dresses up like Elsa. Oh, that's it. Chloe's for the streets. That was good. That was good. I just feel like I know he's serious about some things, and we are serious about the subject, but also you can't be too serious, right? You got to let people make up their own mind. I thought we did a really good job on that segment. People were asking that we talk about it more. Maybe we'll do another segment next year about it again, but I just really want to lean on, let people have their own convictions about that. I think that's where we settled last week. I know what we're going to do. We're going to light up the night. We're going to promote Jesus. We're going to lift up the kingdom. And we're going to be a blessing to our neighborhood and to our community. We're going to be restorers of the streets. I read that today in Isaiah 58. To be repairers of the breach, restore the cities. And where we live is such a bad location that we bring that hope, especially for the little kids. I think you said it last week, no masks are allowed, no weapons are allowed, no sketchy costumes. We do our part to really keep it a safe environment. And so anyway, just shout out to that. Our Harvest Festival will be going down as we always do. And we're going to lift up Jesus. We're going to have a prayer tent and just do what we've always done, be a blessing to our community. So, okay. On the sci-fi segment, are you guys familiar? Now, this would be your generation because y'all young bucks. Did you watch I, Robot with Will Smith? Did you watch that?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So you remember what the robot looked like and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't watch it though?
No, I don't do like sci-fi movies.
Okay, but were you a Will Smith fan? Are you still a Will Smith fan? I mean, has he redeemed himself from the slap, or are we good?
I never really was a big Will Smith guy.
No, not even as a rapper.
Definitely not as a rapper.
You
He
like him as a rapper?
hurt himself with rapping. Like,
No,
if he had any points, he lost them. with-
Summertime. Come on, man. That's still.
Yeah, you got to be a
that's the
little
jam.
older. You got to be a little older than me to really respect that.
Is that you taking a dig right now? Are you popping a shot right there?
No, I'm just saying.
And I feel like what you giggling like he popped a shot, like he threw a jab out there and I just walked into it.
You're the first person I ever heard respect him as a rapper. I gotta tell you, I never heard anyone say, yeah. Will
Okay,
Smith.
put it in the comment box. Y'all be like summertime or what? Come on, man. That's you got to play it every start of summer.
He's a good actor.
The hook on Summertime is good.
You didn't like him in Ali?
Then once he starts talking,
No, he's a great actor.
Okay.
I thought he was great. No, I liked him on Ali. I liked Fresh Prince.
The first one in Men in Black. The first Men in
Yeah,
Black. That
yeah,
was
Men in
great.
Black. No, I
How
like
about
him as
Independence Day?
I like him as an actor.
Okay,
I said
all right.
rapper. I never
Okay.
heard anyone say like him as a
So
rapper.
you don't really watch sci-fis then? Oh,
No.
you're missing out, man. I can give you some good. Like you need to watch a matter of fact, for the audience, y'all need to go back and watch Steven Spielberg's Minority Report with Tom Cruise. That'll freak you out. How much of that movie?
I like funny stuff.
No, but I'm just saying how much of that movie is coming true right now. I mean, it's just nuts. Anyway, going back to the iRobot, I thought I'm going to show you this video, but the only part that perplexed me is Elon Musk's robots look almost dead on like the iRobots from the movie. And I just thought, movies is, life is stranger than fiction, or fiction is stranger than life, or however that saying goes. It's just, it blows me. So I want you to watch this clip. This is a trip, though, but watch this clip. Sci-fi. Here we go.
Optimus.
People here today.
It's insane. It's even talking.
Hi to my friend John. John? Where's John?
Right here.
Oh, hello, John.
How are you?
How are you doing?
That's
Very good.
crazy. I'm
Where are
talking
you
to a
from,
robot. From San Jose. Probably
San
from where you
Jose?
were born in Silicon
That's
Valley.
Wonderful. Where do you live in San Jose? Do you
Lo-
live in Almond Valley, or do you live in
Ye-
Santa Teresa area? Or
No, I live in Los Gatos.
Los Gatos. Oh, wonderful. Very
Yeah.
nice area.
Where do you live?
Beautiful hiking I hear out there.
There is. Where do you live?
I live in Palo Alto at the current moment.
Figures. Yeah,
Yes.
this is awesome.
That's where they train us. That's where we get our builds, and that's where we work with a wonderful group of people.
What's the hardest thing about being a robot?
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are. And that's something I try harder to do every day, and I hope that you will help us become that way.
Well, awesome. Nice to meet you, Optimus.
You as well.
How y'all feel about that? He said trying to become as human as possible.
I mean, I'm not freaked out by it, but I mean, it's. I think it's coming. I mean, that's pretty advanced.
You freaked out by it?
I'm wondering what are we not seeing? Because if they're always there's always like multiple steps ahead of like whatever gets out as far as like to the public. And so if we get to see that, prototype of a robot, then there's more advanced robots.
Okay,
that we
so
haven't seen.
let me see if I'm understanding you correctly. So what you're saying is they're probably already more advanced than that.
Oh, guaranteed.
So so you're not a sci-fi fan, but did you ever watch the Terminators?
I've seen some of them.
Okay, what about you? Did you
Some of it, I should say.
Sure, did you watch?
Yeah, I've seen some.
So I think it's called Skynet or Skylink. I think it's called Skynet, but like it goes rogue and it starts to think for itself and it gets more advanced than us. I guess I'm not scared, but I am concerned because who regulates and monitors their self-learning? Like who dials that back or dials that up? That's what concerns me. But you understand where I'm coming with that?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean, you gotta hope.
Okay, I guess what I'm saying right now is we talk about culture and its influence on the church. There are people right now who are using ChatGPT to write worship songs. There are people who are using ChatGPT or other AI networks, Apple Intelligence, whatever, to write sermons. There are people who are already using this. So where does it end? Where does it end? Remember, we were one of the first ones to ever play that clip of the Catholic Church using the AI. Remember the AI priest? And people got all crazy with it.
Oh, you could call him, right?
Yeah, and you can ask them questions and theological, and everybody's like, oh, this is going to be so good because they'll have the right theological answers. And then it went wrong. And it was like, okay, we got to get rid of this guy. Like, this was bad. They asked the wrong question. They got a wrong answer. Like, when are we going to dial that back? Like, who's in control of dialing it back? Like, if these things start to learn on their own and it starts to happen, like, I don't know. Am I overthinking that, or is like that a real thing?
Yeah, man, I don't know what you do. I mean, we live in a free country, so how you going to regulate that?
Well, we do live in a free country, but they've regulated how fast you could drive.
Yeah, but in terms of technology, how much regulation do we want? I mean, I think that's a big argument right now, even social media. How much does government regulate?
Well, okay, censoring as far as free speech, that's a no-go. But as far as like technology, we've regulated a lot of things. If you really think about that, they regulate your speed on the internet. They regulate your speed on a car. I mean, you have to really work around it. Matter of fact, they're putting the more advanced cars are. I mean, they'll be able to control your car. Period.
Yeah, so I'm saying how much regulations do we want to keep having in terms of technology and what your company does? Your company can't do this. That's what I mean. We have to decide that as a society.
Okay, but as believers, when does it just go a little too far? So if you're a priest and you're like, hey, I can't be there today, but I can send my robot to do confessions. You cool with that? Okay, Pastor could.
I don't think he's really cool with the whole confessional.
Okay,
anyway,
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
so
yeah.
ecumenical duty. So hey, Pastor can't make it today, but his robot's gonna fill in. He's got 90% of his personality, so he's just gonna fill in. Are we good with that?
That's crazy.
No.
We cool with him being a worship leader?
No.
See, I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like we got to really think through this, but that was freaky. That was freaky. Like he was having full on conversation. Well, here's where I currently reside in Palo Alto, and
Yeah, I mean, he almost had a personality.
that's what's crazy.
Yeah, no, this will be tricky to figure it out because everyone's gonna want one to clean their house, wash their car, all that stuff. But then, they're already probably making it now. It's like, no, they're gonna try to make one for war, and so you're gonna have all those different types of things people use as a weapon.
But does it ever make you think we're getting closer and closer
To what?
to the end?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It might be, still 500 years from now.
I don't know if it's 500, but yeah. I just think the technology now is doubling probably every 3-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what's crazy. And then how much more will it double when these things get smart enough to really break down?
When I say keep building AI, I mean things are gonna move faster because it's gonna process information faster than we can. So things are just only gonna get even faster than what it is now.
Man, crazy. So hey, comment in the sci-fi box. Are you ready for the question? Will you buy one? Will you own one? Will you own one? If you had the money to buy one, would you own one? And then what would you use it for? I'm going to go on record. You ready? I am not going to buy one. I will not buy one. I don't care if they're giving them away free. I don't want no robots snooping around my house. I'm good. No, if I need something to be around my house, I buy a dog. That's it. That's what I'm going for.
I think Elon came out with a car, I think called the Taxi.
Yep.
That has no steering wheel, no
Right.
pedals. It just drives you.
Just drives you.
Ooh, I definitely wouldn't. I don't.
I ain't getting in that. That's what I'm saying. No,
I'd
I'm
rather
good.
have a robot.
That
Than
was in iRobot too. He got in that car and it drove itself. I'm telling you.
It's all coming.
Truth is stranger than fiction. I'm
Everyone
telling
needs
you.
to ride
Man.
horses.
Or fiction is stranger
No
than
one
truth.
went in the car. Now I'm gonna stick to my horse.
Yeah, about to give me some land and a horse. There you go. See? Yeah, I ain't buying one. Leave it in the comment box or you're going to get one. Okay, I got to show you this because only in California, of course, and I had to do a double take. So you may have to watch this twice, okay? But there's a new church in L.A., and they specialize in shrooms. Oh, my God. Okay, so I just want you to watch this video. We may play it twice, y'all may have to rewind it, but let's take a look at this new church. All right, here we go.
What the fungal was that?
Okay, so are you taking their invite? You going to church?
I still don't know what I don't know what I get.
You just
what
go take mushrooms, right?
Are they taking mushrooms?
I don't know if they're taking mushrooms,
Oh.
but
I
they're.
don't think so because it's not legal. Mushrooms are illegal.
Who says who?
I don't think mushrooms are legal to take.
Says who?
Government.
Leave it in the comment. We don't know.
I don't think mushrooms are legal.
Says who?
What do you mean, says who?
Recite the law.
I don't think it's legal. Like it's a
Go ahead,
drug.
use your chat GPT. In California, you can do whatever you want. Would they slamming heroin on the front part of the church?
That's not what I'm saying.
I walked up the other day. Dude had a needle in his arm, slamming heroin, slamming heroin on the front porch. And then he tried to hide it. He tried to put some over. I said, "Bro, what are you doing?" He goes, "I ain't doing nothing." I go, "Bro, it's in your arm." And he goes, "Oh." And he had to finish.
I'm not saying if it's being enforced. I'm saying I don't think it's legal.
Okay, if it's not enforced, it's legal.
No, but you can't. No, I don't know because they have kids there.
Okay, now that I'll buy.
That's what I'm saying. You don't. I don't think they're taking a bunch of mushrooms with a bunch of kids in the room.
That I'll buy.
drugs.
That I'll buy. But it won't stop him. He's slamming dope on my front porch.
Yeah, the homeless dude right there. Yeah, yeah.
And then he acted like I was bothering him. I'm like, bro, you're on the porch of a church.
At this fake church.
Okay.
With the kids.
Just waiting for you to say fake church. So you mean to tell me that's not worshiping God right there, listening to Fun Guy?
I don't know. I mean,
He plugged in the mushrooms. It was playing synth. That's all. I felt like I was back at a Pink Floyd concert right there with the laser lights.
Joe Rogan talking about taking mushrooms and reaching God.
Oh, okay. What'd you just look up? The penal code for fungus?
Yeah, I wanted to see if it was legal.
Is it
It's
legal?
not legal.
I didn't go too far down, but it said that Newsom was trying to decriminalize it back in 2022.
Yeah, it's not legal. You can't just take mushrooms.
Well, that was 2 years ago, so maybe.
No, I know it's not legal.
Scoreboard.
No,
So what are we doing? Mushroom church?
no, that's a big thing. People are saying like unlocking your mind, you're reaching God. It's enlightenment. It's taking mushrooms.
Mushroom church.
I never heard of that.
What's next? I shouldn't say that, huh? What's next? Out here in Cali, you never know what's next. You know what I mean?
Mushroom church.
Mushroom church. Did you ever think we'd live to see a day? But, okay, what else did you notice? What else did you notice at the mushroom church? What did you notice?
Kids?
Yeah. What are we doing? We giving him some fake Jesus over here.
It's crazy how certain things, people will try to get CPS involved in certain things and then not CPS not involved in other things.
Right.
It's like, oh, we got to bring CPS into the issue if a parent wants to stand up for their children who are getting turned out by the school districts.
Right.
But we don't say anything when it comes to this stuff.
We're backwards on some things. I just think I think people can call anything a church now, is what I was getting at. And that's why, go back to, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had that girl from OnlyFans, and she was like, yeah, the devil would want me to stop doing my OnlyFans, but God would want me to continue to do it. And we got in that argument about church. And I think more churches are compromised than we would think. That's what the whole point I was getting at. And I'm talking about the capital C church, not the small church, right? Just in totality. More churches are compromised because you have stuff like this that pops up. And they had a pretty good sized crowd in there. I mean, from what I could tell.
Yeah, it looked big.
So more churches are compromised than we think. And that's why we got to be ultra clear on our gospel message. And we got to be ultra clear on some of these things and calling these things out and just letting people know. So we're about to branch off into a subject that most churches get very nervous about talking about. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of staying in the middle. And I would like to discuss that. So I recently came across a yard sign and now post all over Facebook. And I want you to go ahead and take a look at this. Instead of having a Harris Waltz or Trump Vance type of sign, everybody's putting this up. Jesus Christ 24. Only Jesus can save this nation. I saw another one that's a yard sign. It said Jesus for president in 2024. And I want to look into the mic, look into the camera, and I want to say into the mic that Jesus doesn't want to be your president. And he definitely doesn't want to be president of America. What he wants to do and what he came here to do and what he died and resurrected for was to be your Lord and Savior. Kyrios soter. He died to be your Lord and Savior. So he doesn't want to be your president. He's not on your ballot box. He doesn't want to be on your ballot box. He wants to be the Lord and Savior of your life. He wants you to surrender to him. So for you to put up Jesus for president is, in my opinion, almost an abomination, because that's to segue him. That's to put him in a box of he can only lead you politically. But what he wants to do is free you and free you from your sin and depredation. He wants to take your life and turn it around. He wants you to go from death to life. So what does he want to be? Lord. And he wants to be Savior of your soul, not this president thing. And I just think that, to me, in my opinion, I just think that's just foolishness. And so I need to get that off my chest, because this whole thing, Jesus for president in 2024, he does not want to be president of America. He's not even coming to America. When he does return, he's going back to the Mount of Olives, y'all. He's going back to where he was from. That is Israel. Okay. So I don't want anybody to get it twisted. All right. That's why I think people end up calling us Christian nationalists, as if Jesus only died for Americans and as if America's going to save the world. We're not going to save the world. Jesus already did that. Period. Okay. What do you think about this? What do you guys chime in? What do you think about people who are doing this? Jesus for president, write Jesus in your ballot box. I mean, what's really going on? Help me to understand. Help me to get the mindset of the people who are doing this.
I have an issue with the sign. I mean, I don't think you should write Jesus in on the ballot, but saying Jesus is king, I mean, I don't know their intentions. Jesus for president, I don't know their intentions, but it doesn't bother me. I mean,
but theologically, how does he do that?
No, I think maybe if you're just saying that Jesus is number one, like he's not the one. Jesus, this one yard sign is like, no, Jesus is the one that can save the nation. He who can help the nation is not.
But he already saved the nation.
No, in terms of like our belief, how we follow Christ is what's really going to change the nation. Okay. It's really those morals, those things that we're applying from what he taught us.
Can I ask you something? Who did he empower to do that, though? Who did he partner with and empower?
Yeah, the believers.
So why don't you put that? Praying for believers to be believers so that we could turn our nation around.
Yeah, as you follow Christ. You have to put Jesus first. Jesus is the one leading the way.
But he's empowered his church to help lead the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, to me, I just feel like this is our nonchalant way of not being controversial.
Well, you don't have to be controversial.
I don't think I don't think we get a pass in these days. I just don't think we get it.
No, I put Jesus first. That ain't that controversial.
Okay, but then you still got to vote. You
Yeah.
can't write him in the ballot box.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
So do you feel like the
actually you can write him in the ballot box? I lied. You can. It just ain't gonna go nowhere. How do they tally that up? Yeah.
Do you feel like the assumption, or are you making the assumption that whoever has the sign isn't voting?
Well, I'm making. Thank you. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I just feel like I guess what I'm trying to get at. What's the point of putting that? I'm trying to understand the point.
Well,
what statement are you trying to make?
We've said it on here before. Like, if you're looking for Trump to be your savior, you know, you're going to be highly disappointed. If you're looking for Kamala to be your savior, anyway. But either way, if you're looking for some politician or if you're looking to the White House to be your savior, like, you're looking in the wrong place. And so maybe that's what the sign is supposed to be conveying, is that this is who you need to be looking for or looking towards in regards to that.
But president, okay, thank you. That brought a little bit more clarity. But I feel like president is an elected office, as if you can elect Jesus. He's not electable. You can't elect him. He doesn't need your approval. He doesn't need your ballot. He doesn't need anything. You don't offer anything to him that he can't already sustain himself. He is self-sufficient. He is omniscient. He is omnipotent. He is Alpha and Omega. And to somehow put it in your hands, like, I'll elect Jesus. I don't know. I just that's where I'm coming from. Like who are you?
But you still get to decide to put him first in your own life.
Okay, that was the key part. In your own life, he is first.
Mm-hmm. No, you get to choose
but
that.
but he is first. It's just, are you getting on board with it? It's like this: every knee will bow and every tongue confess, in heaven, on earth, and it says, and under the earth. Mm-hmm. So guess what? You either bow now, or you'll bow later.
Yeah. So, but
you gonna bow.
But you get to choose right now if Jesus is first in your life.
Right. But you don't elect him. He has the name that's above every name. There's nothing to elect.
Yeah, you don't elect him as president, but you elect to choose to put him first in your life, and then let him.
Okay, I guess I guess what I'm saying. I think we're arguing semantics. What I'm saying is, he's gonna be first sooner or later.
Yeah, but we get to choose now.
You get to choose here on earth. You mean? Because when it gets to the later, there's no choice. It's already done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing of the Christian. You're hoping for heaven on earth right now. That your kingdom come right now. That was what we're hoping for.
I'm still trying to understand what's the point. I'm still trying to understand what's the point in doing that. I don't understand.
I think it's to show that I put Jesus first above everything else, but above any other president, any candidate, Christ is first.
Okay. But you need a yard sign?
I mean, people yard. Why do you need a yard sign for president? Why do you need a yard sign for anything?
Well, I think they just do that to show support. But I mean,
that's the thing. That's what they want to show. That you guys are putting your hope in the president.
Okay.
I put my hope in Jesus.
You buying that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'm the only one just sitting over.
I any attentions. I mean, but
yeah. I think that you were reading something I wasn't reading.
Okay, what I did is like a sentence. I think we all read the same sentence. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand the theory behind, like, what's the point behind it?
Yeah, we put bumper stickers on our card. What's the point?
Okay, so if you had two options, and you had a Trump sign or you had that sign.
Well, no, you can write in your own candidate too.
No, I'm saying you have two options. Those are the only two. Are we saying that they should not put the Jesus one?
Well, I guess when I see that, you're right. You're 100% right. I'll be clear about this. We are assuming intentions. There's nothing to argue there. You're right. This is an assumption of intentions. And for me and how I filter it, I feel like by putting that sign out there, what you're saying is, I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for. So that would be my assumption. And I'm probably wrong, but that's just what I see it. I see it as a way of just saying, I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for.
I think that if we would have this conversation 4, 6, 8 years ago, maybe we would be discussing it differently.
I think you're right.
Because of the cowardness of the church, the Big C church, and how people are choosing to bow out and not vote. We saw some stat the other day. I was trying to remember when you were talking about the amount
they said half of all Bible believing Christians will not vote this election.
Right. And
but going back to stats, we've argued about this before. Like, I don't want to say the name of the person who did the stats. You can Google it for yourself, but it is a pretty well-known organization that does a lot of stats. But I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know that that's true. I just think there are a whole bunch of closet people just telling you they ain't voting, but they're going to go vote.
Yeah, and there's also people who we've seen on here in our podcast who say they're Christians, and you're like, I don't know about that.
Okay, that's another good point. What were we going to ask? Sorry, you asked about that quote. Yeah.
I just think that the way that we are viewing this now is just different because of the times that we're in.
The polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
and how people are bowing out of just politics in general as believers.
And you're right. I could have been totally reading into something. I just feel like it's all been very polarizing, which leads me to the bigger question of what I just want to spend a little bit of time on. So there was another Trump assassination attempt, and it was down in Coachella. And I want to play the video of this is the county sheriff, I believe. This is the top guy, top brass. And he gives a little explanation, and I think he does a very good job of explaining what was going on. And then I want to talk to you about it a little bit because I don't feel like enough people are talking about this and just talking about that this isn't right, that there's been this many attempts. Love them, hate them, like them, dislike them, I don't care. It's not right to take another person's life, especially when he's running for an office. None of this is good. It screams foul play, in my opinion. But I just want you to listen to what happened. This is kind of crazy right here. Watch this.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming here today. I am Chad Bianco. I'm the sheriff of Riverside County, and we are obviously here to talk about an incident that occurred yesterday at the rally that former President Trump had in Coachella. Yesterday afternoon, before former President Trump arrived to the rally, we made contact with an individual on the inner perimeter of our operation at the rally. As you can imagine, this was a very large event. In regard to previous attempts on the former president's life, this was not something that we were taking lightly. We had a very detailed plan in place on how we were going to keep not only the former president safe, but all of the participants or the attendees of the rally safe. In general terms, I will tell you that we had a larger outside perimeter and then an inside perimeter that was completely controlled by us, by Riverside County Sheriff's deputies, and both of them served different purposes. Only people that were allowed inside the perimeter, the outside perimeter, in a vehicle was if you lived there or if you had documentation that said you were going to this rally. He approached the outside perimeter, gave all indications that he belonged there, that he was a participant that was allowed to get into VIP and to and a press corps, and so he was allowed through that outer perimeter. As he got to the inside perimeter, where deputies were conducting obviously a more thorough evaluation of the vehicles that were coming in, there were many irregularities that popped up. The deputy noticed that the interior of the vehicle was in quite disarray. The vehicle had an obviously fake license plate, and that prompted further investigation from our deputy into why the person was there and what he was doing. During that investigation, the deputy eventually found multiple passports with multiple names, multiple driver's license with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, and the license plate was what we in law enforcement would recognize as one that is homemade and indicative of a group of individuals that claim to be sovereign citizens. And assuming the deputy assumes that he was part of that identifying group. So during the investigation, obviously those identification documents were found, in addition to a loaded handgun and a shotgun. Obviously, this was before the former president arrived. The person was taken into custody. He was eventually booked into jail on those charges, and eventually he was released. He will have to further his court case in the future. Right now, we are actively engaged in working with Secret Service and the FBI to ensure that this person is followed up on and all of the information that they can gather. I can tell you that from my perspective, from a state law enforcement agency's perspective, the firearms charges is what we arrested him for and booked him on. Anything further will come from the federal government, and quite frankly, I don't know if we will be a part of that. We will certainly be a part of that investigation and cooperating with them, but those charges, if any, will come from them. They will not come from us.
Okay, let's get some first thoughts on that. Bishop? What did you think about that story right there?
Yeah, it's crazy. He got released already.
Did that shocked you too?
Yeah, good old California. It's crazy.
Man, zero bail. Or do we still have zero? I think we still have zero.
I don't think it's zero bail.
Okay, not zero bail no
I don't
more.
think.
But
it's crazy.
But he got released.
Yeah.
What'd you-
mean, fake license plates, IDs,
press pass,
passports,
everything. Yeah.
guns, and it's still
Loaded.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, initially I thought, well, is this really an assassination attempt?
Yeah.
Because when I think of an assassination attempt, I think of like I think the assassination attempt, I would say the last one where the dude's like ready in
At the golf course.
You know,
Yeah.
that's you could intent was there.
Right.
Here it's like, was he trying to do like a mass shooting?
You think it might have been more?
I don't know. So when they say like an assassination attempt, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But then I had this thought. If we were to replace Donald Trump's name with most other politicians.
Oh, no, let's just go straight for it. Barack Obama,
Hillary Clinton.
No, Barack Obama. Yeah, that guy was extremely charismatic and extremely well loved.
Yeah,
Trust
but
me.
people are going to say the race thing. So let's say somebody who's not black. Okay, so even Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
There would be an assumption that A equals B or A plus B equals C in the sense of they would have said this was an assassination attempt.
Okay, you're right.
But with Trump, people are all going to be thinking like I was thinking, like, well, was it really an assassination attempt? Because I feel like they try to dumb everything down when it comes to Trump.
Which brings me to this question. Let's replace that with any name, like you just said. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, right? Whatever. Robert Kennedy. Well, maybe not him because they might try to take him out too. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know. All the pharmaceutical stuff he's been going after. But if we replace that with the name, do you think they would have let that person go already? He said dude made bail.
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so if it was Barack Obama when he was running, and we'll just say 2012, right? When he was running back for the second term in 2012, if there was 3 attempts, would this not be all over the news?
I looked at a few different news outlets to find out about this, and one of them covered it at the very bottom, like you had to get to.
That's what I'm saying. But if it was Barack Obama, 2012.
Oh man, you would have said you'd have seen it on the ticker of Sports Center, like on ESPN, like it would have been on every media outlet.
So why such vitriol? Why so no concern for Donald Trump?
Because they want him to.
Yeah, even when the first assassination attempt happened and people were like cheering, it's like that's not what you want your country to be.
See, that's what I'm getting at.
You're gonna end up being like Mexico, where this mayor gets killed. I think on their first or second day in office.
Wasn't it beheaded?
Probably. And like you don't want that for your country. That's not a country you want to be a part of. So the fact people are cheering that way, that's the way you feel, you should leave the country and go spare something else. Like go to Mexico then and see how your government officials are afraid to run for office because they might get killed. That's not what you want, despite what side you're on. Like we should be taking this seriously. All our government officials should be taking this seriously. Like you can't come after our officials and people who are running for president. If you do so, you're going to be treated harshly. Like it shouldn't be tolerated at all.
He made bail. Okay, but I'm 100% agreeing with you.
What happened with
I'm just asking. He made bail.
What happened to the other guy?
Yeah, made bail.
The second guy.
The golf course guy?
Yes. I don't think he's hemmed up either. I fact check me. I don't know. Maybe he's still in jail, but I don't think so. But they were talking about what they could even prosecute him for. What I'm asking you is, I'm asking you an honest question. You guys leave it in the comment box. Had this been Barack Obama, are those two people even out? They're not out. They're not out. They're still in jail. I guarantee if this was Barack Obama, the whole place would be fit to be tied. But why? I just don't understand. Listen, you said something I agree with. You don't want this to be like other countries. You want us to have free, fair elections where anybody has an opportunity to run for president, even if you don't like the guy. I don't care if you think Trump is some type of bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has the right to run, and he has a right not to get shot at. This isn't one. This isn't two. This is the third time. And you got to admire the guy's gumption for keep getting up and keep doing. Nobody does more stops, more rallies, more interviews, more podcasts. The guy, how old is he, by the way? He's like 75, 76, 77. What is he? He's up there, and the guy's got endless energy. Like, you see all the podcasts he's on and all the interviews he does. But I agree that you don't want this to be like other countries where people are afraid to run. We've lost civility. But here's the thing. I don't hear anybody calling it out and saying, hey, everybody's got to back off. Stop saying he's a threat to democracy. Don't use this language. People are taking this serious, and they're taking shots at people. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think the church, we got to start to say, hey, listen, we got to be amiable, right? We can attack policies. We could do all this, but we can't take shots at people. Literally gunshots at people. Like, this has got to end. We don't want to be like these other countries. I mean, you think I'm saying something that needs to be said or what?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you guys. It's not a country that you want to live in. And so if this is something that you're supporting, you should really think twice. Even if you disagree with him, even if you think that his policies are terrible. You know what I mean? Like Sleepy Joe. Like, I don't like Joe Biden personally. I'm not speaking for anybody else. But it's like, I don't want him. I'm not wishing that he gets assassinated. I think Kamala is trash, right? But I'm not hoping that she gets shot.
Are you hoping anybody?
You know,
I'm not hoping
that's somebody's family
shot.
member.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not hoping anybody gets shot. And I definitely ain't cheering if someone took a shot or coming up and saying, well, he didn't really take a bullet in his ear. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me talk about like local politicians and my love for them, right? And it's I don't want them to get hurt.
I want them to lose their election, but I don't want them to get hurt.
I would love for them to go work at a gas station. That would be great.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think, so let's talk about this. Let's help people out today. Let's help out whether they're pastors or just congregants in a church, okay? How can we help the church to stay in their lane? What can we do? Because I have clips. I don't want to show them. I'm so over this. I got a clip right now of a church celebrating and saying how godly of a woman Kamala Harris is. I've got another clip where another pastor is getting up there and saying, if you're even a Democrat in this church, you need to leave my church because we don't accept Democrats in the church. I'm like, all y'all fools, all y'all being stupid. This is just dumb. The church, what makes the church so powerful is we're made up of a group of individuals who come from different backgrounds and stuff. How can we help those who are maybe struggling as pastors or even congregants? How do we help them to stay in their lane, keep the love of Jesus in their heart, and still reach across the aisle and be friends with people? Like, how do we help the church to stay in their lane? What's one thing that the church can do to help them stay in their lane? Go ahead.
Recognize that like we can have differences and still meet in the middle and be friends. I mean, you heard my comment right now about those two Democratic politicians. Yeah, but if I knew somebody who liked them, I'm not going to hate them because they like them. You know, the way I look at it is politics is almost like glorified sports. The politicians in athletics, they're all out for themselves. The sports franchises are all out for themselves. You don't know anybody on the team. They just want your money. Okay, that's just the reality. Nice. You know, you want to paint your face and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they don't really care about you. They're going to trade Max Crosby or they're going to trade whoever it is because they want to make more money. Right. In politics, you know, they play on their team, whether they're a Democrat or they're a Republican. At the end of the day, most people like us, most normal folks, like the politician doesn't really care about you. The politician, like Deshaun says, cares about getting reelected. And so those people who do care, that you do care about, people who you are going to see face to face, you need to figure out a way to meet in the middle and still be friends. What you got for us, Bishop?
People get real passionate about certain topics, and I think a lot of times it could be more talk than what they actually live out. Like, are you actually like caring for things? Like, where's your money go? Does your money go to help help people in these certain situations that you're talking about? If you're super passionate about abortion, are you out there helping people? I know people can get mad at, like, you know, Catholics and out there, you know, they're praying at abortion clinics, but they're out there praying. They're actually doing something. And when people just want to argue about stuff, but they don't actually do anything. Are you actually loving your neighbor? Actually care about them? Are you caring about the single mom who did have the baby? And like if you're going to be that passionate about it, I want actually to go see you do something too.
Wow.
Because I was talking to someone and they were mad because even at our church, because they were going to vote in the for Democrats. And I was like, look, what are you arguing with him for? He's loving his wife. He loves his kids. He's there for them. Look at all these great things he's giving. I know things that he actually gives to, the support things that he talks about. I was like, you need to go focus on yourself before you start arguing about politics with him. Because I'm telling you, he may be voting a different way, but man, he lives a lot more godly life. And so you have to be careful. Like, how are you living your life and how is it playing out? Or you just want to argue with people? I think a lot of times we can get caught up in arguing about certain topics, but we don't actually go and be the hands and feet of Christ and speaking life into other people. And then let's see what happens from there. But we got to be careful. We're not just talking about these topics that are just up in the air and not really caring about people.
Man, that was great from both of you guys. I think for the church to stay in their lane, they got to talk about policies and platforms, not people. Right? Somebody made a comment about Donald Trump. Oh, he's just full of himself. Have you met any billionaires who aren't? And if you were a billionaire, don't you think you'd be pretty full of yourself? I mean, because think about it. You're a billionaire. Who gets to tell you no? Like, who gets to tell you can't buy that? Who gets to tell you can't do that? Who gets to tell you? You see where I'm going with this? I was like, okay, tell me something I didn't know, And they were like, well, he did it. And I'm like, okay, I could give you 100 other people who did the same thing. And I think for me, I try to stick to platforms and policies, not people. They're not up there winning a contest of some sort on charisma. They run on platforms and policies. And I try to say, if you stick to platforms and policies, you'll still be able to love people. Because you're going to see that, hey, they see this platform a little bit different. Okay, no problem. They see this policy a little bit different. Okay, I understand. That's no problem. Because I can still love you as a person. But when you make it personal, like you're an evil person, you're a satanic person, you're a demonic person, then you're never going to keep that person as a friend. But if you say, hey, I don't see how you get to that policy scriptural, but I still love you as my friend. I don't see how you get to that platform scripturally, but you're still my friend. You'll never win over an enemy, but you may convince a friend. You got to keep that in mind. And so I just think it's crazy how people try to demonize people. No. Stay in your lane. Love the person. Talk about the policy and platform. If you're still not happy with their policy and platform, I'm going to give you another peek. It's like perfect alliteration. Pray for them. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And so I think the more you amp up and ramp up, the more they're going to amp up and ramp up. We need to stick to policies and platforms, and that's what we need to discuss as adults. And as adults, you're allowed to disagree and to agree. That's what's the great sports analogy, right? You're allowed to agree and disagree. And you're right, Mike. We don't know anybody, so what does it really matter, right? You got to do your part, vote, but that's it. But we got to stay in our lane. And pastors, real quickly, pastors, I encourage you to have open dialogue and conversations, to talk about the policies and platforms, to give a biblical worldview, period. Teach your people the Bible and say, according to the Bible and according to the scriptures, what policies and platforms best represent that, not what charismatic leader. Because the Bible says the Antichrist is going to have a lot of charisma, deceive the world. But what policies and platforms best supported by Scripture. Okay, I want to take you guys on a more positive note, okay? I thought this was crazy. Maybe we could just put the headline, not the article. It's an article you can read, but we'll put it in the description, okay? Thanks, Nate. I'm a Christian cleverly disguised as an All-American running back. Ashton Jeanty, who plays up at Boise State, and is the best running back in the nation right now. I love this quote to glorify God. I'm a Christian cleverly disguised as an All-American running back. What do you guys think about that? I think that's bold. I like it.
He's the best running back. He's at Boise State.
And
he's killing.
He's unbelievable.
Who's he playing? Sorry, I just don't know what we're talking about.
But. I know, because you used to like being at Alabama or something like that, right? Being at a power school. But they'll all tell you. Matter of fact, correct me if I'm wrong, he had offers after last year to every school, NIL deals and everything. And you know what he said? Nope. Boise found me first. I'm staying here. Loyal to the soil. That speaks of character right there. Make him a Raider. That speaks.
Or he's a fool.
Yeah, bro. By the way, he doesn't look fast, but nobody catches him. Just if you go and look up his highlights, he don't look fast, but nobody catches him. Just throwing that out there. But he had all the NIL deals. He said, nope, I'm staying loyal to the soil. Why? Bro, you hating on a fellow believer right now. Like
No,
the hater rate.
He's surprised.
I'm glad he loves Jesus and followed Jesus. He just might want to get some advice on some finances. get wise, you know. That knee could blow out next week.
Show me the money.
Hey.
You got to show me the money.
Money ain't evil. It's the love of money.
He just needs some money right now, huh? Just a little. Show me the Quan. That's what he remember. That what was that? Jerry Maguire. Show me the Quan. Show me the Quan. Give me the money. Right? That was the same philosophy. You don't know if I could be hurt tomorrow. Show me the money. But what'd you think about that? I mean, what a platform. That is bold to me. I applaud that. You know, he shares about his faith in this article, but to get up and say, listen, I'm a believer first. All of y'all might know me as this running back leading the. They said right now he's the leading candidate for the Heisman. Hey, y'all might know me as this, but I'm a Christian first. And to me, like that's mad props right there. Like, I mean, that's a person who could be doing all sorts of things that we know college athletes do, right? But yet he's up there standing on the platform that, hey, God had this great idea. He's going to disguise me as this All-American running back when really I'm just trying to give glory to him. And millions of people are going to hear this platform now. After last week, I was kind of dissing on platforms last week, just so y'all know, okay, I'm, kind of arguing with myself right now. I just thought this was cool. But go ahead and rub it in. I see the smirk. Go ahead.
I didn't think of that.
Hey.
He did. He was smirking the entire time. You don't want to talk about God don't need your platform. Go ahead.
I will say this. For him to take a stance like that, he put a
target on his back.
Target on his back,
Yeah.
and so I think that it's very cool that he decided to do that. And so I'm rooting for the kid.
No, it's awesome. No, I am too. Hopefully, he has some good people around him because he did. He made it harder for himself, coming out that way because it's like now any mistake you're gonna make. I mean, he's a young man. Like any mistake he makes now, everyone's gonna be looking at him, judging him, and so it's like he has to do his best to stay above board and like, no, I'm gonna live this faith out.
Yeah, it's good for him. Okay, today we're going to close a little different. I wanted to save the segment that for the recap of the sermon. We talked about being good dirt. We talked about, really taking care of the soil. What is our soul? Which is our soul, and really being this good dirt. God's dirt is what I said, right? So that God could plant a seed, which is his word, and so that it could begin the process of growing and producing fruit in our lives. I felt like yesterday went over really well, especially with the illustrations that I gave of the dirt and stuff. I want to ask you guys, what was your takeaway from yesterday, and what would you encourage people to do? So with your takeaway, what was your takeaway, and what would you encourage people to do with your takeaway? So I'll let you go first, Mike, but I just really want to encourage this. And if you're interested in this sermon, you can go back. We have an adventure page on YouTube. As you go back, you can listen to the sermon, but this should be very applicable to your life. So give us.
I think one of the things that I took away was how do I remain good dirt?
Oh, okay.
And just the importance of maintaining. Oftentimes, I think that we just have like these ebbs and flows of life, and that could be in any area of your life, your marriage, parenting, your relationship with the Lord. And so in those valleys, like how do I maintain good dirt to where like my heart is still soft? I'm still tuning my ear into the Lord's voice, and I'm not becoming somebody or something that I don't like.
What you got, Bishop?
Gosh, I'm tell you, I'm struggling a little bit because I started preparing for next week's sermon. I'm like, did he preach this, or is I'm preparing for next week?
I got all these sermons in my head. I talked about the parable of the sower.
Because it's almost like a part B.
I'm preaching the same thing. Mm-hmm. But no, your illustration of the word really good. This idea of like you get to choose, you get to prepare yourself what soul you're going to be, especially coming into Sunday.
Right.
Like coming into that day, like you talk about preparation, like preparing yourself to receive, like how can I get rid of stuff that's going to hinder me to come in and be willing to be that good soil in that moment, that day. So it's really coming to church with attention. Like I'm coming in expecting something. I'm coming in and getting myself ready to receive something from God. If someone, I guess, is coming to your house, you get things ready for it. I think going to God's house and going to church, you need to get yourself ready to receive something from God.
Man, that's really good. You actually took what I was going to talk about, and then I was like, well, Mike already came up with a good one. Now what am I going to do? I want to talk to everybody. Something that I wanted to expound more on, but I just didn't have the time, and that is the seed that falls on the ground. Jesus said at first in the illustration that the bird comes and takes it away. But then he goes on to explain it to the disciples. And he said that bird is a representation of the devil. He literally says the devil comes to steal the word. And I wanted to break that down a little bit more yesterday. I just didn't have the time. But I really want to caution you. There are times when we go to church, there are times when we sit in service, we're not all the way sure about what the pastor's talking about, or we're not all the way sure about what's going on or what's being said. I want to encourage you right now to still take notes, to still write it down, because if you don't, the devil's going to come steal that word, and he will steal it long before you ever get to the parking lot. He'll steal it in the middle of service because you didn't write it down and investigate it. In other words, you cannot be lazy in studying God's word. You're going to have to do your due diligence. You're going to have to put in the hard work. You're going to have to take care of that soil, tend to the soil, and make sure that soil is well taken care of. So if you hear a word and you feel a little bit like, hey, I'm not sure about that, or I don't quite understand, write it down. Go home and investigate it. Go look up other sermons about it. But do your due diligence. Why? Because this might be the word that produces 160 or even a 30-fold in your life. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to Not Offended Podcast. Peace, bro. What's going on, fam? This is Anthony from the Not Offended Podcast, the conservative Chicano right here. If y'all could do me a favor, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could leave a comment, hit the like button, but most of all, if you could hit subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.